Oh, yeah. You're right to applaud. It's time. Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Is My Brave. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming out tonight. Lovely to see you all. My name is Christian Finnigan, and I am just helping get this party rolling. I just want to, a quick couple of housekeeping things. We all know the deal, right? Turn your cell phones off. Don't be that guy. If your cell phone's on, turn it off. No flash photography, please. Any sort of brawling, please take that out to the lobby. It is wonderful to be here. Of course, This Is My Brave is a wonderful charity, wonderful event that we're here to help these people. And I want to commend you guys on your bravery for coming out in the middle of Hurricane Joaquin. I don't know how you mustered the courage. It's very, very impressive. I definitely felt a stiff breeze coming in here today, and I actually kind of like those nights, like Friday, where it's like raining really hard and the wind is gusting around, because every once in a while you'll just see like a crumpled corpse of an umbrella on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Like a mangled, twisted heap of metal. The next time you see one of those, take a moment of respectful silence, because every busted umbrella you see represents a truly shit moment in someone's life. That is a terrible day that person was in the middle of. Because that's not like a casual event, like, hey guys, look, my umbrella turned inside out. Again. I'll just place this here and go about my day. Tra-la-la. It's not how it goes down. It's usually somebody like, fuck it, this ends now. I can't even get to a garbage can, forget it. There's a trash can roughly every 40 yards in New York City. So when you see an umbrella on the sidewalk, that is someone who just said, no mas. It's never on your way home. It's always on your to somewhere, like a job interview or a dinner party, and one spoke of the umbrella breaks and you're holding it up with one hand. I am not a religious person, but if there is a hell, I believe it is walking through New York City in a rainstorm for eternity carrying a $4 Dwayne Reed umbrella. Forever and ever in Excelsius Deo. Amen. I've lived in New York for 24 years, which is a long time. People say, how can anyone live in New York City for 24 years? It's so stressful. And they're right. You have to maintain a certain attitude to survive in New York. My philosophy is sometimes you just got to stop and smell the whatever that smell is. My wife and I am married. There it is. Sorry, fellas. People wonder about me. I give off a certain high school drama teacher vibe. And scene. We live out in Queens. I don't want to brag, but we do. For people who are visiting New York City, New York City is comprised of 5 boroughs. Of course, there's Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Hoboken. Those would be the 5 for people who don't. It's not true. It's not true. Staten Island is the 5th. Perfectly fine place. Staten Island gets a bad rap. Is anybody here from Staten Island? One sad, lonely woo. Do you hear how anemic that sounded? It's because you get exhausted journeying from Staten Island. It is a long... Staten Island is a perfectly nice place. It's just not in New York City. Look at a map. You have to take a ship to get there. New York and New Jersey need to execute a trade. Staten Island for Hoboken. Hoboken is more part of the fabric of New York. Hoboken is for people who are like, I really want to live in New York City, but I also love Coldplay, so I need to live someplace where I can wear pleated khakis and nobody gives me shit about it. That's what Hoboken is for. I myself, I am 42 years old, which is okay, I suppose. What does that mean? It means I'm not elderly, but I am decaying. Technically, I am in a state of decay. I don't want to bum anybody out, but if you're over 40, you have crested physically. It's not going to get any better. There's nothing positive in my future from a physical standpoint. It's not like, man, wait till I'm 50, I'm going to be jacked. No. From here on in, it's this or worse. That's the way it is. About slowing the rate of decay at this point. You know when you pull a tomato out of your refrigerator, because 2 weeks ago you were feeling optimistic at the grocery store? Everybody has that experience? Am I the only one who does that? Every few months I'll be shopping, picking up my usual flavor-blasted goldfish crackers and Diet Dr. Pepper. And I'll have this weird wave of optimism sweep over me like, I should start making salads at home. I could change my life today. I'm gonna eat healthy from this day forward. And I go through the produce aisle, start throwing stuff in there, tomatoes, cucumbers. Ooh, an orange pepper. Twice as expensive as the green, must be twice as good. Better grab 7 of those. Maybe pick up some kale. I read an article about it in the Delta In-Flight magazine. Apparently, it's not just shitty lettuce. I never feel so smug and proud of myself as when I am pushing a cart full of produce up to the register at the supermarket. You're right, lady. That is a lot of salad I'm going to be making in there. You people in line are going to be waiting for a while. She's got to weigh all this shit. No scanning for this kid. Got to punch in codes with me, lady. What is the code for artichokes? I don't know. Look it up in your little spinny wheel. And I go home and I take all $83 worth of vegetables and drop them in the bottom drawer of my fridge and forget about them. Until 15 days later, it's midnight and I'm 3/4 drunk, staring into the fridge looking for answers. You know those nights where it's not even about hunger? You're just like, okay, fridge, give me something. Give me something. What do you got for me, fridge? Make it all better. What if I got really close to the fridge and shut the door behind me? Does that feel like a hug? Is that a hug? It's so cold, just like Daddy. You know what I mean? When you're just like scanning the fridge, you don't even know what you're looking for. It's like, all right, nothing there, nothing here, nothing down here. What the hell is this? Oh, that's salad. That was that day I was going to change my life. Do you remember that? God, I was so high that day. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you'll take a tomato out of your refrigerator and it's smaller than when you bought it. Like it's not rotten, but it's been in there for a while, so it's like a little shriveled. And you have to ask yourself, can I eat this without it making me sick? Ladies, that is the exact phase that this body is in. Oh, you can't eat me, but it has to be today. Anybody? Any takers? Fellas, I'm not picky. My point is, this comes off. It does not come off. I've tried. It will not come off. Oh, I want to come off. Ugh. I am trying to take care of myself. I do go to the gymnasium. I don't like it. I'm not one of those weirdos who enjoys physical fitness. I used to go to a personal trainer, and the dude was just too intense for me. Like, he would get in my face, like, come on, man, bring it, bring it. Like, dude, I don't even think I have it. Let me just look around. I'll just bring whatever I find. How about you bring it, and I borrow it for like an hour. 10 minutes later, he told me to get some. Come on, man, get some. Why did I need to bring it if there was some here? That makes zero sense. The big news in my household lately, and this is something that's happening as we speak, and so I don't really have polished material about it, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time. My wife's mother, and I call her my wife's mother because I feel like mother-in-law feels very corny and cliche, and quite frankly, I don't really know the lady. But until recently, I'd only met her like 5 times, but last Tuesday, she moved into our apartment. Yes, the 68-year-old mother of my wife has moved into our 4th floor Queens walk-up apartment. And but it's not all bad. On the upside, she did bring 2 14-year-old dogs with her. So this is what is going on in my life right now. I spent all of last week yelling at a piece of IKEA furniture that I was putting together for a bed for her. And at least now she does have a place to sleep. Up until then, she was sleeping in my wife's bed, my bed, with my wife, which is kind of Freudian and weird. But she would sleep in the bed with my wife while I would sleep on the couch until 4 a.m. when she would wake me up, because that's when she gets up, because she's a psycho elderly person. And she would tap me on the shoulder, and then I would move into my bedroom and try to fall back asleep in my bed while smelling an old woman on my pillow. That is what is going on in my life right now. And I tell you this primarily because the police may interview you at some point. And I want to get my side of the story out there before the murder occurs. And when I say the murder, the person being murdered will be me, and I will also be the murderer. I will be not killing myself, I will murder myself. That is what's going to happen because I cannot believe I have allowed this to happen. And the murder weapon will probably be my mother-in-law's brassiere, which is hanging on the back of the bathroom door. That is where my life is. Eventually, we're going to ship her off upstate. A couple years ago, my wife is sick in New York City, and she wants to leave, and I can't because I have a thriving comedy career. Don't laugh at that. But we bought a little, we took all of our savings, we compromised, we bought a little cabin up in the Catskills, a little Unabomber shack that we go up to, which is lovely. If you've never been to the Catskills, it's beautiful. And my wife loves it because it reminds her of her childhood. She grew up in the woods in Texas. I grew up in the suburbs. I moved to New York when I was a teenager. So to me, the deep woods has always meant one thing and only one thing: murder. Trees equal murder to me. If you lived in New York too long, I don't like trees that aren't in order. I like tree, 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 tree. I don't like this tree, 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 tree nonsense. Nothing positive can come from that. When the realtor was showing us houses, she was like, "Hey guys, look, this house has crawl space." I'm like, "Oh, that's where the bodies go. That's where you keep your rotting human flesh." I've gotten better, gotten used to it, but my friends who are city people, they won't visit because they're always scared. Like, "Well, what do you guys do when you're in the woods?" Like, "Well, we have a fire pit and we look at the stars. It's nice." My friend's like, "Dude, that is the first scene in every horror movie. That's how they start. There's the couple, and they're in the woods, and they're in love, and then the murder shows up." I say, first of all, my wife and I are not that in love. Let's bring it down. It's been 11 years. Let's be realistic. More importantly, I am not scared because I am 42. She is 44. We are way too old to be murdered by in a horror movie. Do you know what I mean? We have been aged out of danger. Neither of us is sexy enough at this point to be targeted by a psychopath. Do me a favor. Raise your hand if you're a woman under 28. Women under 28. Okay, dead, 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 dead. Don't go to the woods. You won't survive. You'll be in your bra and panties like, "Kevin." You'd be dead. The only thing you have in your favor is if you're a brunette, maybe you'll survive. Sometimes brunettes find a way to squeak through. Blondes always die. Blonde women and black dudes cannot survive in the woods. I've seen the movies too many times. It just doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. Especially not together. No. They'll be murdered by a black woman. That's how that goes. 42-year-old white dude, totally safe. You will never see a horror movie about a dude who kills people in their 40s. Be the worst movie of all time. Just some guy with a bloody axe creeping through the woods, and he looks in a window, and he sees my wife and I arguing over our Netflix queue. "We were on Breaking Bad season 3, not season 4. You were supposed to wait for me to watch that. This is why we don't have sex anymore. And the murderer be like, "I'm gonna leave you guys alone. Seem like you're already torturing each other. What do you guys think? Are we ready to get this show crack-a-lackin'? Yeah? Yes? Oh, well, one clap from you, sir. One clap. Give me one. Right there, sir. Give me one. There it is. All right, I got it. Give me two. Awesome. We have such a great show lined up for you, and we are going to start it off with a little music, and I would like to introduce our first two performers. And I would love to stand here and tell you that I have their names memorized, but I am not professional. So it is my discernible pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Joella Baltonato and Laura Casertano. Please give them a round of applause. Let's get going. Thank you.